I watched Dallas Cowboys Cheerleaders the day it came out, season 2. I was so excited. I was like, my show is on, my show is on. Because when I watched season 1, oh my god, did that show have me a damn chokehold. I say season 1, like, DCC is known for having, like, how many seasons? There are 16 seasons of this show. But when I say season 1, I mean season 1 on Netflix. And I'm Australian. I know nothing about NFL, cheerleading, sports like this, American things in general. Like I'm not in the sports scenes of America. So when I watched this, my mind was blown. I was like, "Oh my god, they have like professional cheerleaders who like do their damn shit." I was so excited. I ate this damn show up, like literally obsessed with it. I watched it all in like one night, and then when season 2 came around, I watched it all in like over 2 days, and I was so. Oh, and I just needed to talk about it. I needed to vent about it because I love this damn show, and I want to watch like the older seasons when it was like more chaotic and less like they cared about like controversy and stuff. But I have some notes. I have a little rant. I just wrote little notes that like were in my head so we can like talk about it and I don't forget about it. But I'm really just gonna be spewing what I feel. First thing about this season is it definitely felt off compared to like season 1. And for reference, when I'm saying season 1, I'm not referring to actually the season 1 of this show, DCC making the team. I'm referring to American Sweethearts, Dallas Cowboy Cheerleaders, Netflix season 1. Okay, so this season was definitely a lot softer. I felt like Judy and Kelly were both like a lot kinder in their words. They said a lot less about body image. They still had their moments, they still had their comments, and you could tell they are still those people. But I think a big part of it was that they did face a lot of controversy and a lot of hate after the Netflix release of season 1 because, you know, they said some things about girls, they cut a few people that felt like maybe for body reasons. There was just like a lot that did actually feel like something, and I do get it because you're running an operation, right? You have a certain standard, a certain fit. It's kind of like how the Rockets have a height requirement. You have a certain standard and certain fit. I get it. Advertise it. Don't let someone who's too short go if you know you're not going to let them make the team. It's just sad. But regardless, they did seem a lot kinder with their words. Judy even said she wants to be seen as warm. And I do think that this is probably how they've always been in the regards of like they do care about these girls, but they run a tight ship and maybe they're not always best with their words, and then when they saw the backlash, they either had a self-reflection moment where they were like, holy shit, like we sound evil sometimes, or more likely they saw the backlash and were like, ooh, we need to like, you know, we can't have this be our brand. So, you know, it's one of the two right there. But yeah, I think though you do see like, I think you can see that like the girls do love Kelly and Judy. Like they say I love you, they hug them, and it's very sweet. But you also gotta think that like these are their bosses. This is like a lifelong dream for a lot of these girls. These two, Kelly and Judy, are standing in the way of like them making their dream or not, right? So like you also have to think that like a lot of I love yous, a lot of hugs, a lot of going to them for advice or help probably comes from like a needing reassurance standpoint, because this team makes them so on edge, right? Like they are so on edge with their performance and how they're doing that they like search for the reassurance with Kelly and Judy. So like while some of the girls could really really love these two, Kelly and Judy, a lot of people probably just feel the anxiety. And when you feel this anxiousness of like this person needs to like me, they need to respect me, they need to see me as like a leader or valuable or someone who needs to be on the team next year, you're gonna feel anxious and you're gonna search for like that love, right? And so I'm in a bit of both worlds. I do, however, understand where some of their comments come from. Like I know that you want a certain look, you want a certain vibe, like you are a brand after all. Like DCC makes millions for this NFL team. Like they are really it. Like they are the it girls. They have this perfect image about them that you want to keep going, but you also got to note that like these are real people who work multiple jobs. They work very hard. They're still people who deserve respect, love, and like to be taken care of by their workforce. So the next thing I wanted to talk about, with the show feeling slightly different or slightly off, this show focuses more on pay rises, work, and mental health. And I am not saying that this is a bad approach. I actually really appreciate, I mean, if you didn't see it, DCC cheerleaders, the DCC got a 400% pay rise. So I don't know how much they're on now. I'll put it on screen, but they got a good pay rise, which is huge thanks to like Jada, Armani, I forget her name. Is it Megan or is it Amanda? Or is it both? I don't know. There was a few other girls there who who did a lot for this pay rise, and huge props to them because they're leaving the show and they're leaving the team and they don't even get to enjoy this pay rise. They purely did it for the rookies and for the new girls, and I just have to say absolute props to them. I do really like the focus on like these girls and what they go through because I think it's real, I think it's raw, and I think it's important to note that like these girls are not some like idolized celebrity who makes millions, who's so out of touch. Like these girls work regular jobs, they work hard to provide entertainment, to live their like childhood dream. Like these girls are very hardworking, which is insanely good. I also enjoyed the focus on mental health, such as Shandy's mental health and a few other girls, and just like what it feels like to overload yourself so much and what burnout can feel like after a few years. And I think this is really good, and I actually think Shandy really would have benefited at retiring after year 5. I know they don't have to retire after year 5, but I do think it would have been really beneficial for her because clearly a lot was going on, and I'm glad she retired now and is hopefully moving on to a better mental health stage. But I also think that like this focus on the mental health and all these other elements could be to balance out all the DCC hate that it received the previous season, where they got hate on for like the pay rise issues and the workload and the mental health and like not showing it as much. And like I think the DCC got a lot of hate in regards of like, you need to give a pay rise to these girls, blah blah blah. So I think this part was to like also show that like they're trying, blah blah blah. Although I would say like it didn't really work in regards to the system, because it kind of, to me at least, seemed like some of these girls were really struggling and the actual like DCC company as a whole didn't focus on them, they didn't care. But obviously we don't really know what's happening behind the scenes. I would hope that Kelly and Judy were working close with Shandy. Oh my god, why did I just have a brain blank on her name? I hope they were working close with her and they helped her mental health, because it was clearly not going well. So next I wanted to talk about Jada, because I just love Jada. I don't know, she's so cool. At the start I was like, oh, is she like, I didn't know what was happening. I was like, is she like a hater of DCC? Like she seemed very like had a lot of negative. And then as the show went on, I realized just how amazing she was. She stood for what was right. She stood for the girls getting a pay rise. She stood up and like protected these rookies, protected the girls, looked after them all, while still acknowledging her role in DCC and what it takes to be part of the team. She gave it 100% when she was on point. She gave 100% as a leader. She gave 100% into the team, in the negatives and positives, and I really admire her for being such a strong voice, and I hope they have more people like that in the show, because, and like in the team in general, because it really will help this company become amazing for these girls. And on top of this, I just wanted to mention the boyfriends or like husbands. So weird. Like some of them really give me weird vibes. When Shandy broke up with her boyfriend, I was like, thank God, because the moment I got a weird vibe was when she was like, I wish someone else could do, I think it was her lashes, because she didn't like doing lashes, which is like so fair. She's like, you need to learn how to do them, I don't want to do them, haha, you know. Like, we all say funny jokes like that. Like, when I don't want to do my makeup or like hair, I'm like to my boyfriend, oh my God, can you do it? Can you learn how to do it? I don't want to do it. As like, you know, because it's like, oh, let's just use him as our personal assistant. It's funny, it's fine. Like, it's just a cute little joke. And he just goes, weird vibes, because you don't ignore your girlfriend like that, but you definitely don't ignore someone who is shy or quiet. When someone who is shy or quiet or in themselves makes a joke, says something to you, you acknowledge it, because they are actually having the confidence to like speak and be heard, and you have to be there for them, especially if you're their partner. And that immediately gave me weird vibes, so I am glad they broke up. But the Shandy and Katiana situation was so weird. I've seen a bit of it on TikTok of like people breaking it down, because I don't actually follow NFL, so I don't follow these girls during the season. I just watched the show. And so when Shandy and Katiana thing happened, I was very blown. Oh, I was confused, right? Because when they were like saying it like Shandy did something, blah, blah, I got really scared that it was like a attempt, because they were showing ambulance, they were showing the girls being really scared, and I was like, oh my God, like, please don't tell me this happened. And then it was just like a hookup, or a potential hookup. Now, this is so weird, I can't even break it down. Basically what happened was, Shani brought a man into her room when the girls were at the Bahamas on a work trip. And she does share a room, and she brought the man in, allegedly hooked up, although she is saying that they were only just talking. Right? They were just leaning on each other for comfort. I don't know, make your own, I'm not going to make an opinion about that, it's not my play. But then, Katiana gets brought into it when she says some like shady stuff about the situation, and then like it's like, ooh, which girls like Shandy, which girls don't like Shandy. In my personal opinion, I've seen a few people online be like, oh, it's just the purist culture, it's just Christianity culture, like who cares? Let it go, ride some dick. And it's like, look, am I against hookups? Absolutely not. Am I against women who have free will of their body? Absolutely not. Do what you want to do, girl. But it is a work trip. They are sharing a room. It is unprofessional. It is dangerous because these girls are famous. They're very well known. A guy could easily do anything with having information on where they're staying. It is dangerous and uncomfortable, and I could understand if the roommates in this situation were upset. The other girls, a little less, like you can still be upset, but obviously this would be scary. It's also very unprofessional. Like if I went on a work trip, I wouldn't have a man in my room. That's no. So I don't think it's necessarily purist culture that is causing issues. I do think it is just dangerous. And it was wrong of Shandy, of course, but she knows that. She knows it was a dumb idea, and I think she was in a very mentally bad space. And my only thing would be the fact that this like sisterhood and friendship, no one was there for her. The fact that she felt she had a better chance bringing a man into her room than actually talking to the 35 other girls on this team is mind-blowing. And I feel like that's a big issue that they should, as a company, evaluate of why is one of our team members so sad that she brings a man over, which is so out of character for her, rather than coming and talking to us. I feel like that is a more important thing. But then the Katiana thing is brought into it because Katiana, yeah, like I said, said some shady stuff, and she got suspended from the team, which she took as a FU, and then she quit and didn't go to the end of year banquet. Very little of this is like actually properly covered in the show. I feel like they run through it very bad. I don't know. I didn't like how to do it. And we'll talk about the Victoria situation. Let's just go into the Victoria situation. So Victoria, if you remember, if you watched the last season, she was very struggling. She didn't find a place in DCC. It kind of felt like her mother forced her into DCC, and it was all a very weird situation. And so she quit last year, which is really nice, and she found her own way. I think she might be auditioning for the Rockettes, or she might be doing some dancing thing in New York now. But for some reason, they decide to still include her in like a 30-minute part of the show or something. And look, I get it. DCC was a big part, all this stuff. Do we need her? Do we need at least... Because they like cut between the Shandy and Katiana situation and just threw in Victoria and her life. And I just was like, I don't care. I don't know. I saw a lot of people say they skipped over this part, and I do get that she, like, DCC was a big part. You want to see her transition, how she is. I get it. But it was just too much. It was too much. So there was that part. And then, yeah, they kind of brushed over the Shani and Katiana situation. I don't know if it was because it's a bit in hot water. They still haven't really talked about it. I guess the girls are both retired now, so it's like, who cares? Like, why couldn't we talk about it more? Don't include it in the show, or at least tell us more. I don't know. It just felt like a very weird situation all around. There was also a big complaint was less Reese and too much Victoria, and like with those, Reese I think just didn't have a lot. I think Reese is an it girl, the it factor. We all, love Reese, but there was not too much story there. Like I wish they focused more on like Kelly and Charlie, for example, like finally making it into DCC, blah blah blah. They could have included more Reese there. They did include Reese for like the interesting parts, like her social media, just being there, her husband, but it's like there's no more story for Reese because Reese is literally just the girl next door, Christian purity it girl. And so it's like, well, what else would you want to see of her? Another thing I did see people complain about, and I agree, there was less dancing. Like I don't even think we saw like a full thunderstruck performance. And that's unfortunate because I would have loved to see like more dancing and more of like the dancing element and the cutting and the making the team element. Because, like, for example, I feel like there were some people who were unjustly cut. There was the whole Dayton situation, and I just feel like it would have been great to get more of that element, which I feel like we definitely got last season that we didn't get this season. They definitely focused more on, like I said, the pay rise, mental health, drama side of things rather than like the dancing drama side of things, which is unfortunate because I did really enjoy like seeing how they made the team, seeing how ruthless they were with these girls. Like it was really interesting. But despite this, it was still so emotional. I definitely caught myself crying when Kelly and Charlie made the team, seeing a lot of them be able to like celebrate, seeing Jada's dad at the performance. Like something about seeing these girls work so hard to complete their dream just makes me cry. Like it's just I love it so much. And lastly, for my feedback, I hope that they balance, if they do another season, I hope they balance the dancing and making the team element more with drama. Like, we can still have drama, we can still have the controversies and like, oh, what happened, especially because like this year they did say it's not usually like this. It was very drama filled this year. So I do hope that they, manage to find the balance of like, yes, people want to hear about drama, people want to know what happened behind the scenes during the season. But I think a lot of people are really there for the dance, the ruthlessness, the pure talent behind these girls. And I also think, as far as like the company goes, I think that they should, like, if you want hardworking talent, like full of talent, amazing, pure girls who just seem happy all the time, you need to work on that behind the scenes, because humans are never happy all the time. And especially when you're like, oh, why would you want a pay rise? Like, work's what makes you so talented, or what the best part about you. Like, no, the best part about them is the fact that they show up for all these games, for all these performances, and absolutely blow everyone away with their talent. And it's like, if you want people like Reese, who are like girl next door, pure, amazing, beautiful souls, you need to work on that with the girls internally in your company, because mental health is going to happen, especially when burnout's involved, especially when you are working with girls to the absolute maximum. If you are not there for them mentally, they are going to absolutely explode, and we're going to see a situation like Shandy again. So I think that's an internal thing that the company could do. And yeah, I don't know. But other than that, I really enjoyed the season. It was great. I definitely preferred the first season on Netflix, but I did really like this. I'm very glad the girls got a pay rise. I hope it helps them exponentially, because some of these girls are working 3 to 4 jobs, and that's just not it. That's not okay. When they're pushing their body to the absolute max, there's gonna be burnout, there's gonna be mental health breaks, and it's just unfortunate. So, that is all. Let me know what you guys thought about the season. Did you watch it? Did you enjoy it? Have you watched the other, like, 16 seasons? um, but that is all, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what other videos about other shows, games, or movies you would like to see. Bye!